Okay, so the first thing you need to do is put your first name, last name, and date, and we're going to start with our brain dump. Okay? We're going to start with our brain dump. Quickly. So, when we put our first name, last name, and date, what's the next thing we need to do on our brain dump?
Brain dump.
We label it, right? And then we do our multiplication chart. Why do we do these brain dumps daily?
So we can remember the start.
So it helps us. We do have this information to use on the STAR test, but it also helps put it where?
In our brain.
In your brain. Very good. So our Chromebook should all be closed by now. We should all be ready to work. So the first thing we do is we put our multiplication chart. So go ahead and start building your multiplication chart. What numbers do we skip when we build this multiplication chart?
1 and 0.
We do skip the 1 and the 0 because why?
Because we already know. We already know. It's gonna, if you times it by 0, it's always gonna be 0.
If you
Oh, it times by 3.
Very good. If we multiply anything times 0, the answer will always be 0. If we multiply anything by 1, it's always going to be itself. So those are pretty easy ones for us to know without having to think too hard on it. Now, on the morning of test, once you're told you may begin your test, then you start building the brain dump, and you can fill out your multiplication chart completely then. So in class, we're just setting it up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we got so much more to do. And one of the tricks that I start with when I'm filling out my brain dump is I start with the easy numbers, correct?
Yes. Can at home do you want us to fill in that?
Yes, because I want you to get those multiplication numbers memorized, and the easiest way to do it is by saying them and writing them, right? And if you have those multiplication facts memorized, it makes your life that much easier. Okay, so I always start with the easy ones. We know 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. And then we go across, the same thing, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I would continue that with the easy ones first and then go back and fill it in. Okay? And remember, your multiplication is the same thing as skip counting by whatever, your 2s, 4s, whichever ones, right? Okay. So now the next thing we put is our reminder for division.
Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers?
Very good. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? What does D?
Divide.
M?
Multiply.
S?
Subtract.
C?
Check.
Check. Down.
And then bring down. Okay?
We do our thing.
Good.
Yes, I saw Sully's.
We do that next. We do our try. What does try mean?
3,
Quad?
4,
Hint?
5,
hex,
6,
and oct.
8.
These are the most common shapes that you would be talking about or learning about or have questions about in 4th grade. We know that tri is a
3.
triangle and it has 3 sides, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can,
Quadrilateral.
okay, quad means 4. But look, tell me, would that be a triangle?
No.
No. Okay? Would that be considered a triangle? No, because it's not closed, okay? So a polygon has to have all closed sides. Very good. Now the next thing that we need to remember is what?
IES.
IES. What is I?
Isosceles.
Isosceles. How many equal sides? 2. What is E?
3.
Equilateral, and it has 3. Very good.
S has no.
And S has none. What do we call it? Scaling.
When I think of hint, I think of 1 less than 5.
For try, I think of a tricycle.
Tricycle. Very good. Okay. An easy way to remember pent is a house. It has 5 sides.
That's what my mom said.
When we build it. Okay. Now the next thing we need to do is
Or angles.
our angles. So let's start with this one.
Alright.
It's a right angle. What makes it a right angle?
It's
Exactly 90 degrees.
Exactly 90 degrees. Okay. What's our other saying we do to remember that it's a right? What do we always say about the right angle?
Mama's always right.
Mama's always right. The next one is
Acute.
acute. A cute little baby. And so what do we know about acute?
It's greater than
greater than
9.
no, less greater than 0, less than 90.
Very good. Greater than 0, less than 90. Very good. So it's greater than 0 degrees, less than 90. It's the cute little baby. And then the last one, well, it's not the last one.
We have 2 more after
We do have 2 more, correct. So then we have obtuse, which is what?
Big Daddy.
It's the Big Daddy angle, right? And the Big Daddy angle.
Less than
108.
Good. So obtuse is greater than 90, less than 180 degrees. We now have 2 more left. 2 more angles. We have a straight angle. Very good.
And then a 360.
What do we know about the straight angle?
It's equal to 180.
180 degrees.
Good. And then the last one is the circle, and it is what?
360.
360 degrees. Maybe your circle looks better than mine did this time. It's a little lopsided today. Let me try that again. It's a little bit better. So if I was given the measure of 2 angles within my circle, would I be able to solve the missing angle if it was divided into 3 parts?
Yeah.
Okay. How? What would I need to do?
So
Okay, so here's my angles. And this one's 92. And this one's 180. How would I find my missing angle?
By
Adding and then subtracting. Very good. Because what would I would add 180 plus 92. Y'all don't have to draw that part. I'm just showing it, okay? So we would add 180 plus 92. 0 plus 2,
0 plus 2 is 2.
8 plus 9,
18.
17. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1,
2.
2. So we have 272 degrees. How can I find the missing angle? What am I going to subtract from
360.
360? Okay, so then I would do 360 minus 272. 0 minus 2?
0 minus 2 is.
You can't do that.
I can't do that. What do I have to do?
You gotta borrow from the 6.
Borrow from the 6.
0, a 10.
And the 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 2 is now 8. 5 minus 7.
Can't do
I
that.
can't do that. I have
Borrow
to
from the 3.
borrow from the 3. That becomes a
15.
2. And then a 15 minus 7 is 8. So we could find the missing angles by knowing this information, correct? Like I said, I didn't need y'all to write that one because y'all don't have enough room. But I wanted to review it. Is everybody caught up to this point on filling out their chart?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody still writing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, give it just a minute. We have one friend still writing.
I was already done with the front page.
I am.
Okay, you got it now? Okay, so now
We're doing the back.
I gotta finish the front. We gotta finish the front, but I don't have room. I can't using this, remember? Okay, so the next thing that I put is our types of lines.
Parallel, perpendicular,
Okay.
intersecting.
What does parallel lines mean?
They never intersect.
They never intersect. They stay the same distance apart at all times. When I think of parallel lines, I think of the yellow center stripe on a highway.
Oh.
When you have the double yellow lines, they are supposed to stay the same distance apart and never cross. Okay? What's the next one after parallel? Perpendicular. What does perpendicular lines mean?
They intersect.
They intersect to make 90-degree angles.
They intersect and make 90-degree
They make a
angles.
full triangle.
So if you have two complete intersecting lines, it makes a square, a bigger square when you make the 90-degree angles. And then the last one, intersecting. What do we know about intersecting lines?
They're going to cross.
They do cross. What do we know about the measures of the angles?
They both have two.
Obtuses are the same and the acutes are.
Two obtuse to acute, and they are the same. Very good. The next is what? Pi. And what?
Profit equals income
Minus expenses.
Very good. Profit equals income minus expenses. If I was to have a business selling chocolate chip cookies, $10 for a dozen, and I sold 12 dozen cookies, what would my income be?
120.
120, because we multiply 12 times 10. Very good. I spent $20 at the grocery store buying the supplies.
$100.
That would be my expenses. So my profit would be what?
$100.
$100. Very good. And then the gallon is the last thing that we put on the front. Okay? Inside our gallon, what do we have?
2 pints.
How many? 4 quarts. We gotta have 4 quarts. So each gallon has 4 quarts.
2 pints in each quart.
And each quart has 2 pints.
And then each pint has 2 cups.
Okay? So this information is also on your star reference chart that you always have access to, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And it also breaks down on your chart your length, and it breaks down your weight and mass, and your time conversions. You always have access to this information. And then on the back of your chart has your formulas for perimeter and area. What do we know about perimeter? Perimeter is the outside. If it gives us a shape and it has length of 7 and width of 3,
It would be
how would it only be 7 plus 3?
no.
No, because
It would be L plus W plus L plus W.
very good. So we would add it twice, okay? So the opposite sides are the same length if we have a square or a rectangle, right? Okay, so area,
Square.
Is the inside.
the inside, and we represent it using square. Very good. And what's the formula for it, Abby?
Is L times width.
So length times the width, right? So that's how we only use each number once, and we multiply it. Very good. And we represent it showing square units. Does everybody have this part done?
Yes, ma'am.
Who said no? Nathan, you have it?
No, I said
He said yes.
Okay. So turn to the back. If you have not already. And the first thing we are going to talk about is our equivalent fractions. If we are making a larger equivalent fraction, we what? We multiply. Our example is 1/2 times something
2.
gives me a larger equivalent fraction. What we multiply the numerator by?
We multiply the denominator.
Denominator. Very good. Harper says she wants to use 2 too, which is great. That's a good one to remember, right? So 2 times 1 is? 2. 2 times 2?
4.
4. So 2/4 is equivalent to 1/2. We also put our models. To represent it. The first model,
1/2.
I divided into 2 parts, so it makes it half. And it's important that our models are the same
Length.
size, same length, and same width. Okay? And then the next model, I divide into 4ths, and I shade 2/4. Do I have the same area shaded?
Yes.
Very good. Now, if I want to make smaller equivalent fractions or simplify, very good. What do I need to do?
Divide.
Divide. So that makes sense. If you want something bigger, you
Divide.
multiply. If you want it smaller, you divide.
Divide.
You divide, right? Okay. Now, I'm going to start out with 6/8. We said we're dividing But I don't know off the top of my head what 6 and 8 can both be divided
Make your
by.
chart.
Make our T-charts, right? Very good.
1 and 8, 2.
So let's find our
6.
factors of 6. What two numbers can we multiply together? to get
One
six?
and three.
1 and
One,
6,
two,
2
three.
and 3. So we do the same thing with 8. And what's our factors of 8?
1, 8, 2,
And-
4.
1 and 8, 2 and 4. And now I look and find the greatest number that they have in common, which is
The 2.
the 2. So I'm circling my 2. That tells me to use the 2's to divide by. 6 divided by 2 is
3.
3. 8 divided by 2 is
4.
4. Can I also represent this with models?
Yes, ma'am.
Same thing. They just need to be the same size model pieces.
Is it 4 across and 4 down? Or is it 2 across?
I just did 2 across and 4 down on this side. Okay. So, looking at this, the first one should have 6 out of 8 pieces shaded in. To show that it's equivalent, we're going to shade in 3 4s. Do you see that they are the same equal area?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Are we done dumping our brain yet? No.
We still have to do gross and net. And
Okay, so we still got a couple of more things to do, correct? Okay. Everybody done with this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Who said no? You're not done, Nathan? Okay, Harper.
We didn't do this little thing.
We haven't made it far yet.
I'm done.
Okay?
Alright.
You shouldn't be. Okay? You done now?
Yes,
Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about is our gross income and net income. What is our gross income?
The pond with the fish.
It's the pond with the fish. So is it just a few fish in the pond?
No, it's a bunch.
No, it's the whole thing. And what does that mean? If that you're talking about your income and it's all of the fish in the pond, what does that mean? It's before they take out any taxes, health insurance, any kind of deductions, your retirement. So that gross income is all of the income you have before they take out any deductions.
What?
And then we have net income. And what is our net income?
The fish you caught.
So it is the fish that you could catch. So that means what you,
Take home.
it's what you actually take home out of your paycheck, right? Okay. So we don't get to take home everything that our gross income says.
Because you have to pay taxes. You have to do
Pay, yeah, we gotta pay taxes. So the gross income is everything you earn. The net is what you have left to pay your bills with. And so now moving into paying our bills and buying food and gas and having spending money, let's talk about the two kinds of expenses. We have fixed. What do we know about fixed income?
Fixed equals the same.
It stays the same. What are some examples of fixed income?
Your car bill.
Your car note. Very good.
Not
Your house note or rent payment. Your what? Food's not gonna be fixed because it changes. One, you may not eat the same foods every week. And even if you eat the exact same foods every week, because of the prices change because of supply and demand and tariffs, which is taxes. Okay? So what does variable mean? Changes. What are examples of variable?
Like my bill for the
Water
urgent care.
bill.
Your bill for what?
The urgent care.
The urgent care. If I go, your light bill, your food bill, but listen, Harper had a good one. Her bill for the urgent care. She goes to urgent care because she broke her arm. And I go to urgent care because I've got a sinus infection. Which one do you think is going to cost the most? Probably the broken arm, right? Because they're going to have to add in x-rays and other things, other types of
I
care.
have to put a cash.
Very good. So you're right. Urgent care is a very good one. Medical bills is a very good one to fall under variable. Now we have one more thing to put on this. Our division. Yes, we put the dozen McDonald's sell cheeseburgers on the front. This just helps you remember how to actually solve the division problem, right? So the dividend goes on the inside. That is generally your bigger number. And for fourth graders, it is going to be your biggest number will go inside. The outside is called the divisor. Divisor. The outside is your divisor. Okay? So you would divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. You check to make sure your division works. And then you just repeat the steps. Okay? One more question over, and before we go, how do you check division?
By
Multiplying. Division and multiplication are inverse operations, which means they are opposites. Very good. We don't use the butterfly method.
That's for check.
Oh, to check. We can only use. You can use it to check fractions, but we use equivalent fractions when we're comparing.
Because you're basically just cheating. And
And the butterfly method doesn't work always, okay?
Yeah.
Okay? So, put these away.